Hello everyone, it's ProfSales coming at you with another video, and today's video is about sourcing outside of your comfort zone. So let me explain what I mean by your comfort zone. Your comfort zone, in my definition, is defined as areas that you like to go and buy certain types of items for certain amounts of money with a certain amount of return on your investment. This could be, for instance, say you like to go only to thrift stores and you like to buy shirts for $4 and sell them for 15. You're looking for kind of run-of-the-mill shirts, nothing crazy, and this is your comfort zone. So what I'm talking about today is a way for you to get out of this comfort zone. So I got 3 tips for you to try to get out of your comfort zone and hopefully evolve as a reseller. The first tip is to go to different types of locations. So in the example I gave a moment ago, I mentioned maybe you go to thrift stores. Why not expand that out? Why not expand out to trying an online or an in-person auction? Why not try going to a storage auction? Why not go to a liquidation company or maybe even looking into buying pallets? Estate sales, consignment stores, pawn shops, yard sales. You may have reasons why you don't go or don't like any of these things, but I'm telling you, when you go to these things, you learn things. You learn things about your craft. You learn things about your business. You learn about becoming a better reseller. And every once in a while, you just happen to find some amazing items that meet your criteria. And that is only going to help you when you're in the types of places where you are more comfortable. Because, you know, it's a big world out there. There's a lot of different types of items to sell. There's not one category of items that's the absolute best. You have to kind of figure that out for yourself, but there's value in stretching and learning to experience different types of locations where you find different types of items. So that's really, I think that might be the #1 tip. You know, try different types of locations you're used to. There may be a store right down the road from you that you drove by every day that's got an amazing clearance section that you could do some retail arbitrage in. There may be a huge community sale just around the block from you this coming weekend, and you go there and you find $500 worth of profit in a couple hours. I mean, it happens. But if you don't get out there and try some different locations, you're never going to experience all that reselling has to offer in this vein. The second type of way I'd like for you to get out of your comfort zone is to look at high dollar items. So what do I mean by that? Let's say that you're a reseller who focuses on buying $5 items and flipping for 15. That's a pretty standard multiple. And you don't like to buy items that are more than $5. Maybe you have a limited capital budget. But here's what I'm going to challenge you to do. Try to find one $10 item the next time you go out. Or maybe you try to find a $20 item. Now, here's why you want to do this. Higher dollar items, as a rule, have a lower return on investment. So if you buy an item for $1 and sell it for $5, that's a great return on investment, right? But if you buy a $20 item, you're not likely to sell it necessarily for $100. You might, but it's more likely when you sell a $20 item, you might sell it for $50, which is still a 1.5 times your money that you spent to buy that item. So you say, well, why would I do that? My return on investment is lower. But here's where the real advantage comes into buying higher dollar items. You usually are going to make more dollars per item, more physical dollars. So I ask you, is it easier to go out and find 4 or $5 items that'll turn into $10, or is it easier to go out and find one $20 item that will turn into a $30 or a $40 item? It's easier to find one item. All things being equal, it's easier to find one item. That's always going to be the case. You can find one item, usually easier than you can find 10. Now, you're not necessarily going to make as much profit percentage on that item, but you're going to make more dollars. And the amount of time you spend to list an item or sending it into Amazon, if that's your gig, is the same as it is on a $1 item. You're not spending necessarily any more time. You are spending more money, but you're going to make more profit. This, again, is going to help you grow and stretch as a reseller because you're going to get more comfortable buying higher dollar items. That doesn't mean you're going to go out and buy, I'm not saying buy a $500 item to make $600 on it. I wouldn't want to tie up that much capital unless I know I could do it like that overnight. But there's value to buying some $10 and $20 and $30 and $50 and even $100 items that you can turn around and make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks on profit, it's going to help you grow. It's also going to put more dollars in your bottom line, and it's not going to take any more time. It's going to take more capital, so don't go crazy with it, but it's a good tip for, stretching yourself as a reseller. The third tip I want to share with you today is experience and intuition. I guess that's the best word for it, intuition. So here's how this works. You're out at a yard sale. You're out at an auction. You're out at a liquidation sale. Doesn't matter what it is. Wherever you're at. You don't have access to your phone. You don't have a way to look up an item. Maybe there's no internet connection, whatever. But you see an item that looks like it's in good shape. Maybe it's got collectability as an antique. Maybe it's a unique item that's just pretty rare. Who knows? And you think to yourself, this item might be worth some money. Well, you don't have experience. You don't have any experience with this item necessarily, so you got to use your intuition. And if it's an item that's similar to other types of items you've sold, but it's not the exact item, well, you have experience with those items, so you're going to use your experience to buy that item. You don't have any electronics telling you, hey, this is worth this much and it sold for this much on eBay last month or Amazon. Use your experience and intuition. You're going to make some mistakes when you do this. You're going to buy some items and you're going to overpay for them, and they're not going to be worth what you thought they might be worth, or you may even lose money. That is part of being in business for yourself. That is part of being a reseller. If any reseller out there tells you that they've never bought something and lost money on, they're lying. They're just lying. They haven't been doing it very long. Everyone makes mistakes and buys items that really aren't worth that much money, or sometimes they lose money on. But again, you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to use your experience and intuition to make good buying decisions when you have nothing else to go on. There are some items you look up and there's just nothing on them. There's no info. You've got to make a decision and say, I found one of these the other day. I found a clutch cover cap for a Harley Davidson, I believe for a motorcycle. And it was from about 15 years ago. And I went to look it up. No info. Barcode didn't scan. Typed in the UPC, didn't come up. Came up with something totally different. So I'm like, And it was 10 bucks. 10 bucks. Not a huge amount, but 10 bucks. I took a risk on it. My intuition says, this thing has been out of production maybe for 15 years. It's Harley Davidson, which is a highly desirable brand. There's a huge following for Harley Davidson out there. And it's kind of cool looking. I don't know if I'll make money on it or not, but I'm going to try to sell it for 30 bucks. Paid 10, sell it for 30, I'll make a few bucks on it. I had to use my intuition because there was nothing else to go on. Those are the types of things you have to do if you want to grow and evolve as a reseller and become as good at this craft as you can become. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please hit the like button down below. Also leave a comment. I always like hearing from you guys and try to answer each and every one of them. And consider subscribing to ProfSales. There's a link in the video and down below as well. And you can get every video when it comes out and you won't have to go searching for it. I'd really appreciate it. So until next time, this is ProfSales saying good sales to you.